Coach. I'm going to say it one more time. What's happening, everybody? This is Professor Bobby Borg, also known as Coach. I always repeat it because with live recordings, they oftentimes get cut off in the beginning. So what I'm going to talk about today is I'm going to talk about a number of things related to promoting your music and press and publicity and getting your music out there. I'm going to talk about websites. I'm also going to talk about what's called the video treatment, like the video idea and the concept behind your videos, whether or not they be short or long. And I'm also going to talk about what's called the social media scan. And we're going to do this rather quickly because that's the way I roll. So let's get right to it. So do you need a website? Well, first of all, let's talk about what like a website today might entail. So I'm looking at Chappell Roan's website. And when you get to the main page, or the landing page as they often call it, you see that she has a really bright picture of herself. It looks like she's promoting a particular record, and on the left-hand side, she has what's called a navigation bar. And on the navigation bar, she has things like music, videos, gallery, tour, charity, store, and also subscribe. So when you go to like each one of these pages and you go to like music, she has an example of each one of her singles, and she has the digital artwork for each one of those kind of like in rows, right? Then you go to videos and it's the same thing. It's the sort of the main screen with a play button, and she has the videos going across sort of in rows. For gallery, the interesting thing about her gallery is that she has different types of galleries. She has a live gallery, a casual gallery, what she calls a femme gallery. She has a kaleidoscope gallery. She has a kink gallery. I'm not going to ask what that is. What's called red wine gallery, and also Polaroids gallery, which is quite interesting. So then let's move on that. And then she has a tour date link. She has a charity link, and the charities have logos of the different charities that she's involved in. Then she has a store, and she's selling like a particular hoodie called the butterfly hoodie. And then she has a subscribe page, which is really important because you want to be able to capture your visitors, obviously, so that you can, reach out to them at a later time. So do you need a website? Well, first of all, the way you need to look at it is that when you have your own website, you're kind of cutting out the middle person oftentimes. So let's just say I'm selling a hoodie. If people are buying it directly from me and I'm sending it out directly to them, I'm cutting out a distributor share of the profits. So I'm getting a bigger gross profit margin. Also, it's better branding. Typically, you can brand your website the way you want to. When you're just using social media, there's limited branding that you can do. You can also have what's called an email capture on your website so that you can capture emails and you can connect with people at a later time. Don't forget, you own your website and you control it in most cases. And that's powerful because you never know when a social media site is going to go down, like when TikTok almost went down, or like when MySpace went down, or when like Vine went down. It's not like then you can maintain control of those contact names. They kind of disappear. A website is also a hub. It's a main location where people know they can go and they can find everything they want. It's also sort of like your official statement of saying that, hey, we're legit. This is our store. This is our central location that we control. And a lot of times bookers, when they see that, it looks more professional and more legit. Okay? There's many different ways that you can get a website built. These days, you can do like websites via AI services like Durable. And then, of course, you can do other websites like Wix, Squarespace, GoDaddy, Bandzoogle, Shopify, Duda, WordPress. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. You could also use personal developers if you wanted to. If you didn't want to deal with it, or you wanted something really extra personal, you can also get references from credible people that can build the website for you. You can even use graphic art students at local schools and things if you wanted to go that route, okay? All right, so let's move on now to what's called electronic press kits. So what's an electronic press kit? An electronic press kit is a kit which you send out to different press mediums like radio stations, bloggers, print magazines, online magazines, things of that nature, that want to write about you, or that want to report news about you, or tell your story, or review you, or book you, or whatever. There's a lot of purposes for press kits. The cool thing about a press kit is that it has a lot of information about you, essentially in a PDF. And the benefit of that is that you can write a real nice email, and then you can attach your electronic press kit so somebody can click on it and they have all the information that they need, and then they can download that press kit and they can put it in a folder with other ones that they might be looking at, let's just say for the booking of a tour or something of that nature. You might ask, can't you just go to a link tree and just click on different things, and can't you just maybe give them even a link to a website and they just go to that? Why do they have to have an EPK? Well, an EPK just eliminates a number of clicks or something. It's all just right there for them that they could even download from a website as well. Okay. All right. So let's move on. What's included? What's included in an EPK? A number of things. I mean, you could have things like quotes from, industry professionals. You could have live videos. You could have press photos. You could have projects that you're working on. You could have music. You could have interviews. You could have social media, links. You could have your contact information. It's just everything all in one place, and that's what makes it convenient. Okay, let's see. Let's move on. Let's talk about social media scans. Social media scans basically is the process of going through all your different social media and making sure that you're putting forth your best foot, so to speak. So typically speaking, on all your social media, you should check your banners. So on things like Facebook, on things like X, on things like YouTube, on things like LinkedIn, you should have a consistent banner artwork. Typically, if you're a band, promoting your next single would be the best bet. Okay, let's move on. Your profile name. Have a professional profile name. Don't have one of those things like John_665 the one or something like that. My social media name is Bobby Borg most usually, right? Or maybe Bobby Borg Music Business or something like that. Why be cryptic? It's hard enough to find you in the first place. It's hard enough to identify you. With a branding, you should be consistent. Profile pictures, because your profile picture is oftentimes this small, what I would suggest you doing is cutting out your picture and then putting it against a strong pink or yellow background so that you just jump out. So there shouldn't be a lot of stuff behind you. So for example, if we're going to do a profile picture of me right now, I would cut all of this stuff out. So it's just my head, and then I would put it against a yellow background. And you could do that in Canva, you could do that in Photoshop, you can do that in a number of different places. Okay, your bio, typically in social media, the bio should be very short. It should say who you are, what you do, and what you promise. It should, you don't want it to be abstract, you want it to be clear, okay? Also, the idea pretty much is that you should pretty much have each line should be sort of the beginning of a new section. You should maybe separate it with bullet points, or you should separate it with emojis or something. That's usually the best, okay? All right, let's move on real quick. Links in your social media. There should always be links to your music, to your website, and to your other socials. A lot of times what people do is they use a link tree, where it's one link and then it goes to a page where you have all of your links. Okay, make sure that your theme is really clear on your social media. A lot of times people have a clear aesthetic. They even use the same colors. I try to use yellow, black, and white as much as I possibly can. If you look at my YouTube, you'll see thumbnails that are yellow, black, and white. Most often, just because those are the colors that sort of I respond to the most, and fans seem to like as well. So I kept on using that. But it's consistent. It's a consistent look. So you can almost spot like maybe my social media platform, maybe from the crowd. I mean, and there's a consistency across all the social media. That's kind of important, right? Your photos, make sure your photos are as high quality as you possibly can. Make them. Captions, if there is a space for captions or clear titles, you want to do stuff that grabs people's attention. You always want to have a call to action in your social media, like, check out this song or check out our video, but don't say it as check out. You want to engage with people, ask them questions and things of that nature, so it's not always just selling. Hashtags. Use a variety of different hashtags. Use hashtags that, are low competitive, mid competitive, and highly competitive. Kind of use a mixture of both of those. Make sure that your posts look current and that you post frequently. That's important. Be careful of what's called your follower to following ratio. Sorry about that, you guys. I'm live and there's going to be noise and wind and stuff like that. Be careful of your follower to following ratio. That basically means that you never want to be following more people than are following you. That just looks pathetic. Like you're following 1,000 people and you only have like 57 fans. I mean, that just looks lame. So you don't want to do that. Always keep it under at least half. So if you're following 1,000, if you have 1,000 following people, then you're following maybe 400. All right. What else? Also kind of look at your posts and ask yourself, how many streams are you getting? And then look at how many likes you're getting at the same time. You want to have at least 40% likes on your posts. I mean, if you're posting and nobody's liking or nobody's engaging, there's a problem with that. I mean, typically speaking, a lot of people oftentimes don't engage, especially on like, let's just say, for example, on TikToks and sometimes, or even YouTube shorts, you'll find that people will like it, but they might not engage. But definitely engagement is very, very, important, simply because it says that the people that are watching your stuff are real and not just bots, right? Make sure your accounts are public. I mean, some people do private accounts, but in your best case interest in the beginning when you're starting out, to have public. Promotion, make sure that you have links to other places on your social media, like your websites and your Spotify. And cross integration, make sure all of your socials look the same, okay? Let's move on real quick. Let me say hi to a couple people. What's up, Samantha? What's up, Katie? What's up? Your band is a business. How you doing, brother? Let's see. Who else is out there? All right. Well, anyway, peace and love to all you guys. I'm talking about video scripts now. So when you think about your video scripts, try to use as much of a combination of different things that you possibly can. So, for example, you might tell stories, and you might start off by saying, here's a story about how we wrote this song. And then you talk about it and you play a little bit of the chorus or something of that nature. The whole point is to engage with people and to win the scroll, right? Another thing that you might do too is you might do what's comparisons. You might say, hey, if you like artists like Bob Dylan and the Rolling Stones, check out this little song that I wrote this weekend, that kind of thing. That typically tends to draw people in. You can also do stuff like asking for help. Hey, listen, I think I just wrote the song of the summer and I need your help. And then you play the song a little bit, and then maybe you ask people like, hey, what did you think about that song? Again, it tries to pull people into your world. Sorry if you guys can hear some wind. I apologize for that. Another thing you could do is what's called point of view videos. These are kind of real popular right now, where you go point of view. This is the point of view of like the fan hearing your song for the first time or something of that nature. You could also do what's called nostalgic videos. A lot of people are doing this, where they say something like, hey, if we came out in the 90s, would we be the next Nirvana? That kind of thing. And then people are also doing things like FOMO videos, fear of missing out videos. Like they'll say, hey, just imagine, you missed being one of the first fans when Billie Eilish was coming up, but you can be my first fan as I'm coming up. You know, kind of making people kind of think like, oh, hey, maybe I should get on board with this fan because this fan is going to be huge. And then, of course, there's all types of other videos you can make. You can make AI videos. You can make 360 videos. You can make lyric videos. You can make shocking videos. You can make humorous videos. There's all types of videos that you can make. I suggest being as being as diverse with your video scripts as possible. The idea is that you want to grab people's attention within the first 30 seconds. Okay, you guys, so if you have any questions, please leave them, and I'll get back to them as soon as I possibly can. All right, you guys, go ahead and go to my website, youtube.com/Bobby Borg. I go live a lot, and you guys can get notifications that I am going live, and you can jump on and you can ask me questions and engage with me if you'd like, okay? So that's pretty much it, you get. My name is Bobby Borg, helping musicians turn their art into more successful business. Peace, love, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.